we will start with goal 6. Now, goal 6, these are some targets of goal 6. First is achieve universal and equitable access to safe and affordable drinking water for all. Second is achieve access to adequate and equitable sanitation and hygiene for all and end open defecation. Third is improve water quality by reducing pollution, eliminating dumping and minimizing release of hazardous chemicals. Fourth is substantially increase water use efficiency across all sectors and ensure sustainable withdrawal and supply of fresh water to address water scarcity. And fifth is support and strengthen the participation of local communities. So all these goals are related to clean drinking water and proper sanitation facilities. These were five targets under goal 6. And it is basically related to clean water and sanitation. And in country like India, in last 5-6 years, our government focused in this area. And now government is focusing to provide tap water in every household, including in rural areas. And to provide sanitation, millions of toilets were made in last 5-6 years during this government. So due to this sanitation facility and clean water facility to our population has little bit increased or little bit in good shape. Before that, our focus was not on this area. So that's why very little work has been done. There were programs like Nirmal Gram Yojana, then Jawahar Shahri Vikas Yojana. These kinds of policies were there. But this kind of targeted effort was seen during these 5 years, and because of that, our condition in this area has improved. So now see the Indian condition. In 2015, 88% of the total population had access to at least basic water, or 96% in urban areas, 85% in rural areas. This is the facts. It means as far as clean water is concerned, basic water means that at least they have access to water. I'm not talking about purified water. And 96% urban people have access to water, 85% rural areas. So this is a quite good percentage. Second point is, in India in 2017, 59.5% have access to at least basic sanitation. And between 2014 and 2019, in these 5-6 years, as I told you, the government in India built around 110 million toilets. And due to which the basic sanitation coverage went up from 38.7% to 93.3%. You can understand that in these 5 years, how much effort was put on sanitation. And there are several other programs also that we have Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, a flagship program of Indian government, and very much focus on this. We have Namami Gange Yojana, so that we can keep our rivers clean. And you will find that in last slide, you may see that there is a target of this kind of thing, that how to minimize release of hazardous chemicals. Third point, you can see improve water quality by reducing pollution, eliminating dumping, and minimizing release of hazardous chemicals. And so in this area also we are working well. And just last month there was a report I was going through. It says that Banaras used to be a very polluted place, and Ganga river in Banaras was very polluted earlier. But now there is a report which says that among all the cities situated at the bank of Ganga, Banaras is the less polluted among them. It means Varanasi has done well, and now they are not dumping polluted hazardous chemicals or any kind of material directly to the river, and this has helped to make Ganga clean in Banaras. So in this area we are working well, but one fact you must keep in mind, that is, if we talk about having access to water, then this is the average water necessity of a person. And that's why the in bold letters I have written down there that access to improved water supply exists if at least 40 liters per capita per day of safe drinking water provided within a distance of 1.6 kilometer, and here should be at least one pump per 250%. This is the standard position in providing water supply, that at least one person should get 40 liters water, drinking water, safe drinking water per day. I have not got data according to this parameter. If you find according to this parameter, yes, I have found some papers related to this, and there was a paper study in Delhi slums, and in that paper it was said that people living in that area are getting 5 liters per day drinking water. So it is very less. So this kind, I mean, we should keep focus of this standard also. Just having taps in your home and just having access to water is not going well, because ultimately UN will focus on this, that if your population is getting 40 liters per capita per day or not. But yes, we are working on it. And on goal 6, India's achievement is good in my opinion, and the facts are saying that we are doing well on goal 6. Now goal 7. Goal 7 talks about affordable and clean energy, and in this there are some important targets. First target is ensure universal access to affordable, reliable and modern energy services. It means modern energy services means, I mean, the LPG should be provided to every household, solar energy, wind energy, electricity should be provided to them, and these kind of energy services should be provided to every population. So it should be universally accessible. So that's universal access. Each and every person should have access to clean energy. This is the first target. Second is increase substantially the share of renewable energy in the global energy mix. It means renewable energy source means we have to focus on solar energy, wind energy, gobar gas, all these kind of energy options. We have to strengthen this area, and the percentage of renewable source of energy should be increased. So this is second goal, which is very important. Third is the global rate of improvement in energy efficiency. It means you should be very efficient in using energy. So it should be double the current rate, whatever the current rate is, that, but the usage energy efficiency should be doubled. So this is third target. Fourth is enhance international cooperation to facilitate access to clean energy, research and technology. So international cooperation should be there. India is a part of many such international bodies. One of that body is that we are working on fusion-based energy, hydrogen fusion-based energy innovation. I mean, I'm forgetting the actual name of that international committee. But yes, we are trying. Actually, currently, the kind of nuclear energy we get, that is based on nuclear fusion, right? It is, science people may understand that there is a difference between fusion and fusion. In sun, there is a fusion. Hydrogen base energy is there, and the fusion cannot be controlled, and fusion can be controlled. So our nuclear reactors are made on the basis of this nuclear fusion, so that they can be controlled. Now we are working. There are several, 10 to 12 countries are there, and all these countries are working to how to make fusion-based reactors, and that will be very effective. That will the electricity supply will be increased phenomenally. So this is the one thing which India is doing. There are several other international committees where India is part of that committees. Fifth target is expand infrastructure and upgrade technology for supplying modern and sustainable energy services for all in developing countries. So infrastructure needed, that technological infrastructure or any other infrastructure that should be developed, and especially focus should be on developing countries because they lack infrastructure for providing clean energy. So developed countries should help developing countries to make that infrastructure, and developed countries should provide technology also, because developing countries lack technology also. So this is the targets of goal 7. Now see Indian condition. India is one of the countries with large production of energy from renewable sources. So you can understand that we are on a good track. 35.86% of India's installed electricity generation capacity is from renewable sources. So we are already producing 35% of electricity from renewable sources. We are on good path, and our focus is on now. Government is focusing on that how to use households rooftops for solar energy, to producing solar energy, and in universities, in everywhere, you will find that there is a, very much focus on having solar lamps, solar heater, solar street lights. So government is very much interested or very much focusing on having these renewable sources of energy. Second important point is that government of India has also set a target for installation of rooftop solar projects, which I was telling right now, that 40 gigawatt by 2022. So India is targeting 40 gigawatt electricity supply from rooftop solar projects by 2022. In this, to achieve this target, they will install solar panels on rooftops of households also. Even your personal houses can be used for these solar projects. That is, India was the first country in the world to set up a Ministry of Non-Conventional Energy Resources. In 1980s, India has made such Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, MNRE. So India is very much ahead of several other countries in this area. That we have focused and we are focusing on renewable sources of energy. Last important point is that India targets 60% of installed electricity generation capacity for clean sources by 2030. So India is targeting that 60% energy should be from renewable sources. And if you go to West and Western countries, you will find that earlier Germany used to have 90% of energy from nuclear source. Now they have decided to dismantle all those nuclear reactors, and they are targeting 100% of energy, electricity from renewable sources. And for that, several others, Western countries are clubbed together, and they are using Sahara Desert for putting solar panels. So miles and miles they will put solar panels, and not only all Western countries will get electricity from those panels, but they will be able to provide free electricity to some countries which are near Sahara Desert. So this is what Western countries are doing. Even we have also a desert. We can also use that desert, third desert, for this purpose. And certainly government must be thinking of all these things. But one thing which is very important to you to know, that solar technology and wind technology, China is very much ahead. And if you see and previous years data, that you will find that all the solar panels and wind energy technology we have imported from China only. But due to recent border dispute, our business relations is very much hampered, and due to this, our targets to achieve these goals may be delayed. Let us see that everything gets settled down, and business we start business with China normally. This will help obviously I mean get to our target or related to clean energy. So this is related to goal 7. Now goal 8. Goal 8 talks about decent work and economic growth. Economic growth and decent work. These are this is a goal. And in these three important targets are that sustained per capita economic growth in accordance with national circumstances, and in particular at least 7% gross domestic product growth per annum in the least developed countries. So it targets that economic growth, per capita economic growth should be sustainable, and at least developing countries like India should grow at least 7% per year. And India is achieving that target. From if you see from 1991 till now, due to this pandemic, our growth rate has come down. That is different thing. It is a condition of all over the world, all other countries also. This is an exceptional condition. But before that, we were achieving 7% gross domestic product per annum. So here we are doing good. Second point is achieve higher level of economic productivity through diversification, technological upgrading and innovation, including through a focus on high value added and labor intensive sectors. So why labor intensive sectors? That country like India, which is a highly populated country, and if you will see African countries, poor countries, you will find that population is quite high in these countries. And that's why labor intensive sectors should be strengthened, because that will provide job to so many people, and that will obviously help to economically grow. And for that purpose, it talks about diversification also, technological upgradation, innovation. All these things can be done so that we can achieve the target. Third target is promote development-oriented policies that support productive activities, decent job creation, entrepreneurship, creativity, and innovation, and encourage the formalization and growth of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, including through access to financial services. The focus should be in on micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, because certainly it has a rural base. If you will find that micro businesses, small and medium-sized enterprises, these have rural bases. These enterprises works in semi-urban centers or rural centers, and it provides job to so many people. So that's why it should be encouraged, so that job creation can be done, and the entrepreneurship, creativity, innovation, that should be supported through policies. So government is making such policies. Indian government has in last budget and even in last 3 years, if you will see, and India is very much focusing on entrepreneurship and innovation. So now see Indian condition, going to goal 8. Almost half the labor force in India still works in agriculture sector. With low productivity, it is difficult to promote gainful employment in agriculture. This is the first problem with India, that even that 60% population lives in rural India, and somehow they are dependent on agriculture. And now productivity of agriculture sector is low in India. So per hectare productivity is very low as compared to other countries, China and some other developed countries. So till we promote this, till we increase this productivity, that kind of rural or agricultural employment is not gainful, because they are not gaining anything. So we must focus on increasing the productivity of our land. This is the first target for India. Second, as reported by the McKinsey Global Institute 2015, they have came up with this report, that if India increases its female labor force participation rate by 10 percentage point by 2025, its GDP could rise by as much as 16% as compared to the business as usual scenario. So think, it means that female labor force participation is low in India, and it says that if we would be able to increase their participation by 10% only, that will increase our GDP by 16%. So we have to focus that how to use this female workforce also, so that our economic condition may uh, get well. Third point is unemployment rate in India is 6.9%. So there is a unemployment. So we have to create jobs also. Female labor force participation rate is declining by 24%. We have to wait 10%, but basically data says that it is declining. Basically 24% by with the rate of 24%, female labor force participation is declining. So this is an area of concern. 12.8 million people enter job market every year. So India is a much high population country. So you have to see that how to uh, give jobs to these people. 12.8 million people enter job market every year. And 2001 to 10, the average growth rate of the economy was 7.7%. As I was telling you earlier also, that we are achieving that 7% growth target. But at the same time, the employment rate was 1.8% only. So think that job creation is very less. That your economy is growing with the rate of 7.7%, and job creation is only 1.8%. So this condition is a little, worrying, and we have to see how to make such policies to which would bring jobs to the people. Uh, Next point is that in Indian Labor Bureau survey of 2015 showed that 2,000 companies in 8 sample industries generated all of 1 lakh jobs, a fall from the 4 lakh generated in 2014. So this is also in 2014, 2,000 companies had generated jobs of 4 lakhs, and in 2015 they generated only 1 lakh. So this should be dealt properly, so that job creation should not be minimized, even though growth in 2014 was lower than in 2015. So growth rate was low in 2015, but job creation was 4 lakh. And 2015 growth rate increased, but job creation uh, was came down. So this is the thing. And SDFC Bank report on India's tapering jobs growth says that employment elasticity in the economy is now close to zero. You are getting my point. I mean, it is close to zero means there will be no job. For every 1 point rise in GDP, jobs grow only 0.15. Uh, Years ago, it was 0.39. So, I mean, now it is 0.15, but 15 years ago it was 0.39. So it is decreasing, and very soon it is 0.15, and it says that very soon it will be close to zero. Then there will be no job creation. So it is very worrying data, and how to create jobs in the market, in private sector, and public-private partnership should be there. I'm not saying that government jobs should come up, because government has to do a lot more things, but there must be some policies related to job creation, and government should think about this thing very seriously, to how to have a kind of public-private partnership in job creation also. Till now, private sectors are, I mean, they create jobs, and if they want to fire some people, they can fire anytime. So there must be some policy. Goal 9 is that industry, innovation, and infrastructure. In this, we have five targets. First is develop quality, reliable, sustainable, and resilient infrastructure, including regional and trans-border infrastructure to support economic development and human well-being. It does not talk about only national infrastructure. It talks about regional and trans-border. If India is part of ASEAN, if India is part of SAARC, if India is part of BRICS, there are so many such associations in which India is a member. So that should also be strengthened. India should work to how to increase trans-border infrastructure to promote industrial growth. How to have different enter and exit points with our neighboring countries. So India had done well recently, but due to some border disputes, we have closed so many opening and exit points. So these border disputes hamper these kind of trans-border businesses. So this is the first goal in goal 9. Second target is promote inclusive and sustainable industrialization and significantly raise industry's share of employment and gross domestic product. So industrial growth should be there, as you know that till now 60% population is on agriculture sector, are dependent on agriculture sector. So it says that employment rate in industry sector should be more, and that's why share of employment should be more in the industrial sector, and also share in gross domestic product also. So this is second target. And third is increase the access of a small scale industrial and other enterprises to financial services. So smaller scale industry, if they want loan, if they want some financial help, they must have access to those financial services. Support domestic technology development, research, innovation. It means indigenous technology, indigenous research, target need-based research. That is a need of ours. And that's why innovation, domestic research, domestic technology, this should be promoted. Fifth target is significantly increase access to information and communication technology and strive to provide universal and affordable access to the internet. This is what it says. It says that the internet should be accessible to every person. That's why it talks about universal access to the internet. Yesterday someone asked me that how it is related to mass communication, how these sustainable development goals are related to communication. Now you see that fifth point says that communication technology, information communication technology, internet, there should be provided information. Who will provide information? Information creators will provide information. So this is what, there is always a role of media, there is always a role of communication. So in goal 9, it is clearly written that information should be there. And if you go to our population, rural population, and those population who are vulnerable, you will find they lack required information. They lack necessary and critical information. So we have to provide them critical information, right? So this is what goal 9 says. And now Indian condition is the government flagship intervention like Make in India, Startup India, Pandit Deen Dayal Upadhyay Shramev Jayate Karikram. These are certain programs which have been launched by current government, and these are fueling innovation and sustainable industrial and economic development in India. And due to Startup India, you may find even not only this, even Bandhan Bank, these kind of banks are there who provide small amount loan, and the average loan which has been provided by Bandhan Bank is 30,000 rupees. So you can understand that people who take loans from these Bandhan banks are small people. They may be shopkeepers, they may be some small business outlets. So these are certain programs which have been launched support this goal 9, and that will surely help us to achieve targets of goal 9. 111 million people are employed in micro, small, and medium enterprises, and they produce 33% of the manufacturing output. So we have that infrastructure, that macro, small, and medium enterprises are there in our country, and thanks to our father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi, who always talked about this kind of small scale industries. And due to this, after independence also, this focus of government was there to how to establish small scale industries and how to support small scale industry. And due to this, still now you can find that 33% of manufacturing output is from these small, micro, and medium enterprises. 1.80 MT, one of the lowest per capita CO2 emission in the world. So we emit carbon very low, and this is again one of the achievement of our country, because if we talks about sustainable industrialization means we should emit carbon less, so that our industry should sustain for more time. Otherwise our world will be in danger. Then how will we be able to sustain our industries? Mangalyaan, as domestic innovation and technology, one of the target of Goal 9, Mangalyaan is the world's least expensive interplanetary mission. So this happened only because of our indigenous innovation, indigenous technology. And 636 million internet subscribers in India, and it is rising continuously. We have, good internet user space, but yes, it is a problem because if we go by for percentage, that 40% people have access to internet, but if you try to see it in urban-rural basis, you will find that only 15% rural people have internet connections in their households. So this is the problem. And if you go to urban centers, more than 80% people have internet connections. So this is one of the area, and that's why India is very much focused on providing internet to everybody. So that's why Bharat Airtel, Bharat Internet or lines are being infrastructure is being made by Reliance, and very soon they will be able to Reliance will be able to provide internet connections to everybody with low cost. So let's hope that how much time it takes. But on Goal 9, we are doing well, and we have plans for coming times also. So this is Goal 9. This is last goal we will be discussing today. That is reduced inequalities. It talks about that progressively achieve and sustain income growth of the bottom 40% of the population at a rate higher than the national average. As we know that our wealth distribution in our country is very less, very uneven, and that's why we find that 1% of our population hold 58% of Indian wealth or Indian resources. So therefore, it says that bottom 40%, those 40% people who are in bottom, those people, their income growth should be more than the national average. It means that if national average growth is 7%, so bottom 40% growth rate should be more than 7%. So this is the first goal. Then only we will be able to reduce inequality, because there is inequality in society. Rich are getting richer and poor are getting poorer. So this is one of the problems. Second is empower and promote the social, economic, and political inclusion of all, irrespective of age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, origin, religion, or economic or other status, whatever it is. But you must be inclusive. Inclusive society means that you should include everybody, socially, economically, politically. You should not sideline any particular community or any particular group just because of their different status, age, sex, disability, race, ethnicity, whatever it is. But you should include everybody. That will reduce inequalities. Third is adopt policies, especially fiscal, wage, and social protection policies, and progressively achieve greater equality. So if you need to come up with some certain policies, then adopt such policies, and that may be fiscal, wage, social, because we come to this, you will find that women wage laborers get less wages. The women laborers get less payment than male laborers. So this kind of discrepancies should be dealt properly. So whatever policies government needs to frame, they must frame those policies to bring equality in the society. Now see Indian position that sub-Saharan Africa loses 33% of its HDI to inequality and South Asia by 25%. We say that our HDI, Human Development Index, India ranked below. The reason is that there is a inequality in our country, and 25% point we lose just because of inequality. If we improve this thing, then certainly our HDI we will go up. So this is critical. So we have to work on it. As per multi-dimensional poverty index, 1 in every 4 Indian is poor. Multi-dimensional poverty means you can go and read about multi-dimensional poverty. Multi-dimensional poverty index talks about not only income, but it talks about health facility, education, several other things, that security in the society. They take account of all these things, and then according to that, in India, 1 in every 4 Indian is poor, and you will find it is very high percentage. So we have to reduce multi-dimensional poverty. We have not. We should not focus only on raising their income, but we should also be very much focused on providing them basic facilities, so that multi-dimensional poverty should be reduced. 84% of scheduled caste households and 87% of scheduled tribe households has highest earning member earning is less than 5,000 per month. Now you want to know, if in 87% household of scheduled tribe, the highest earning member earning is 5,000 per month. It is very less. Highest earning is only 5,000. And less, I am not talking about less earning. I am talking about highest earning. So this is problematic. 86% of rural population and 82% urban population do not receive any health expenditure as support. This is again, that's why multi-dimensional poverty index, India performed bad. And we have to provide them all these health facilities. And recently, some health schemes has been brought up by Indian government, and let us see that may give some good result. Last point in this is that Government of India's emphasis on the three-pronged Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, mobile programs are aimed at a comprehensive strategy of inclusion, financial empowerment, and social security. So now Indian government is focusing in Jan Dhan Yojana. It means every person should have a bank account, and that bank account should be linked with Aadhaar, and that Aadhaar should be linked with your mobile number, so that if any kind of money is transferred to your account, so that government should provide you support directly to you, not through mediators. Because earlier what happens that it was provided through village heads, and village heads used to stole money, and they used to not provide them full money given by center or given by government. So that's why government do not want these kind of mediators. They want to give support directly to the beneficiary, and this can only be possible if they have their own bank account, and that bank account should be linked to Aadhaar. Aadhaar linkage is very important, because through Aadhaar linkage, government can know that who is the person who need help, and data should be there, and without data, government cannot do anything. So these are things which Indian government is focusing on. So I think for today, I mean, it is enough. We have discussed till goal 10. Rest, I mean 7 goals are more. We will discuss it later on. So now I end my lecture here. If you have any question, you can ask.